back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a makeup tutorial on this look right here. I wanted to sit down and film a fall makeup tutorial for you guys because I'm so excited for fall. Even though it is still very, very hot here in Mississippi, I was just feeling inspired and wanted to film something for you guys. I also wanted to sit down and play with the Morphe X Jeffree Star palette here on camera. If you've been following me on Instagram, you know how much I've been loving this palette. I haven't been this excited about a palette in a while. Everything from the packaging, because you know pink is my favorite color, to the color scheme and the formula is all really good, so I wanted to film a video with it. I will hopefully have more tutorials with this palette coming up soon. If that is something you're interested in, let me know. But if you're interested in seeing how I did this look, just keep watching. So I went ahead and prepped my eyes for eyeshadow, and we're gonna go ahead and jump in. I used Lynn to set all over my eye, and now I'm going to jump into 1985 and start creating a crease. I am using the Morphe E27 for this, and this is a nice light shade, the perfect crease shade for me. So we're just going to windshield wiper motion all over the eyelid with it. I'm then going to take the shade Chanel and start deepening the crease using the same brush. With this shade, I'm going to focus it a little bit more inside the crease and only bringing it up slightly into the shade 1985. I'm not going to bring it as far into my brow bone as I did the first shade. I'm then going to take the shade Los Angeles, which is this really pretty burnt orange, and put it directly in the crease. For this shade, I'm using the Morphe brush from one of their rose gold sets, and it's just a natural hair bristle brush. It's a little bit smaller than the E27, and then the bristles are natural hair instead of synthetic. I'm just taking this shade and doing circular motions directly in the crease. I'm not dragging it on the lid yet. This is just going to create a really nice deep outer V. I'm now taking whatever is left on the brush and bringing it up towards the brow bone and dragging it inwards. All these shades blend so well together. I'm also flicking the shade outwards to create a little bit more of a cat eye sharp effect. I am then going to clean off this brush and just go in with it without any product and start blending out the edges. And since I want this to be a very fall look, I'm actually also going to go in with Calabasas, which is this deep burgundy red, and I'm going to put it on the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush that comes in their palettes and start putting that exactly where I put Los Angeles. This is just going to deepen the outer crease and give it a little bit more of a burgundy red effect instead of bright orange. Calabasas is probably one of my favorite colors in the palette. Now that that is blended out, I'm going to take the shade Girl, which is this beautiful copper shade, and apply it all over the lid. I'm putting this shade on another rose gold brush from that Morphe set. It is a natural haired packing brush. It's just nice to put a shade all over the lid, and I'm going to put that shade on the brush, and then I am going to spray it with the Morphe setting spray, just so it goes on super intense. I'm then going to go in with that blending brush that we used that had natural hair bristles on it and just kind of blend the shade. I didn't put anything on this brush. This shade with Calabasas just looks like fire. It's straight fiery tones. I am then going to go in with a smaller natural haired packing brush. This is from the Vintage Cosmetics, and I'm going to take the shade Dog Mom, and we're just going to lighten up the inner corner. It is a like peachy, orangey light shade, so it'll just open up the eyes a little bit more. I'm going to apply this dry first, and then I'll see if I want to go in with it wet. I think I'm going to go ahead and spritz that just a little bit. with the Morphe setting spray. It's just a really beautiful peachy shade. And then before we move on, I'm going to take the E27 from Morphe and I'm just gonna dip it in Lin and I'm just gonna buff out the edges just to make it nice and blended into the brow bone. I also want to add a little bit more depth, so I'm going to go in with the shade Hi Dude, which is this dark chocolatey matte brown, and I'm just going to line my eyes like if I was lining it with eyeliner, but I'm going to use this chocolate brown eyeshadow just to make it less harsh, but to give it a little bit more dimension. I might even take the shade into the crease slightly. So I am going to take that same shade, Hi Dude, the matte brown, and I'm going to put it on that Morphe natural haired blending brush, and I'm just going to kind of tap it in the crease. Do tiny circular motions just to add a little bit more depth and a little bit more neutral tones to it so it's not so fire engine red. And I'm just being very careful to not bring this brown up too high or add too much because I don't want it to overpower all the fall colors. Before we move on to anything else on the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and do my face. I'm going to start off with using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I've been loving this primer and I'm just going to put it in my problem areas, which is basically my nose. Then for foundation today, I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Pro Matte in the shade 102. It's a little bit light for me right now, but not anything crazy, and I always add bronzer, so. And I'm just going to blend this out with a damp beauty sponge. I'm using a very thin layer first, and then I can add more coverage if needed. Next, I'm going to apply concealer and finally fix these bags underneath my eyes. I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Concealer in the shade 150. I just pulled this out of my collection for the first time. Like the other day, I hadn't used it in forever and I forgot how much I loved it. So that's what we're going to use. I wish I had a slightly lighter shade, but this still works really well. I'm not dragging it too far because we're going to be careful and kind of shape the eyeshadow. I'm then going to go ahead and take my damp beauty sponge and blend this out, and just being super careful not to bring any of the concealer too high up into the eyeshadow. Then to set my concealer, I'm just going to take my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in the shade Fair. And we're just going to put this on a brush and set the concealer, and everything else I don't need to set because it's a matte foundation. I am taking my Luxie 660 brush and dipping this in the loose powder and going to press it into the skin. For contour today, I'm going to go in with my MAC Next to Nothing powder in the shade Sun Soaked Strip. I am just putting this on a flat top blending brush and lightly shading where I want a little bit of contour, a little bit of color while blending it out. I'm then going to take a similar brush that is clean and just buff everything out so it's not harsh or too much, because my nose looks a little crazy. And then for blush today, I'm going to be using my Note blush in the shade 05 Desert Rose. It's just a really nice warm toned shade. I really like using it when I have orange warm eyeshadow on. And this is just a flat top brush as well. It's a little bit more dense. It's from Wet n Wild, and I'm just lightly stamping the blush onto my face. I'm then taking that clean flat top brush and blending it around the edges. For highlight today, I'm going back to an oldie but goodie. It is the Tarte Skin Tweakle Lighting Palette. I forgot how much I loved the shades in here. This is the shade Moonlight, I believe, is the one I like a lot, and it's just so beautiful and perfect for my skin tone. I'm just taking this on a Morphe M510, I do believe, and brushing it on the high points of my face. And just because I like to top all my highlighters with this, I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighter in Illuminatrix. It's the shade Crystal High. It's from their Crystals collection. And I'm just going to put it on the very highest points of my face, not all over where I put the rest of that. Just slightly topping because I like an insane highlight. And these two shades look beautiful together. I am also going to take this shade that I used to highlight from Wet n Wild, put it on my pinky, and I'm just going to dab it in the inner corner of my eye to highlight that as well. I could do this at the end, but since we already have it out. And before we finish up the eyes, I am gonna go ahead and do my brows. Today I am using some new products that I've recently been loving. I'm gonna go in with the ColourPop brow gel. It's the Brow Boss gel in the shade Soft Black, and I'm going to just kind of fill my brows in with this first. I'm then going to take the ColourPop Brow Boss brow pencil in the same shade, which is Soft Black, and just give my brows a little bit more structure and elongate the tail of my brow. I really need to wax my brows, but I'm being lazy, so. I'm then gonna go ahead and set them with the clear shade and the Brow Boss gel. I like the tinted shade and I like the brow pencil, but I'm still trying to figure out if I like their clear brow gel. It's not my favorite, I don't think, but I'm still getting my full feelings on it. So if you guys want a full review on their brow products, let me know down below and I can do a separate video on them. I'm gonna go ahead and do the lower lash line before adding lashes and a lip, and I'm going to jump back into this palette, and I think I'm going to take Mr. Diva first and buff that all over the bottom lash line. I am just putting this on a very small, precise crease brush. It's from Walmart, so it's not anything fancy. I'm then going to take that same brush and dip it into Calabasas, which is that deep burgundy shade, and I'm just going to put this on the outer half of my eye. And then lastly, I'm going to take Hi Dude on a very small pencil-like brush. It's just very thin and you can get really close to the lash line. And it's also from that Morphe Rose Gold Eye Set. And I'm just going to kind of line the outer half of my eye with that, just to connect the brown from the upper lid. I am going to go ahead and pop on some lashes and then we'll be back to do the lip. I went ahead and threw my lashes on off camera. If you've been watching me for a while, I'm sure you are not surprised. I'm wearing my Thrill Seeker lashes from boldfacemakeup.com. I love these lashes. They're basically the only lashes I wear. I sometimes switch between these and the Lash Goals, I think is the name from that brand, but these are my all-time favorite. I love them so much. I also went ahead and set my face with my Urban Decay's All-Nighter Setting Spray because I like to do that before lashes, and I did straighten my hair because it was looking a little rough, and now we will move on to the lip. I'm not sure what shade of lipstick I want to wear today, but I do know I want to line my lips with the NYX lip liner in the shade Nude Truffle. I thought about doing something vampy on the lip today, but I don't think I am ready for that yet, so I'm going to go ahead and use the Melted Matte from Too Faced in the shade Gingerbread Man. I did see that they are bringing this back. It is a holiday like release color. It is a really sought out, very pretty burnt orange, and I really like it, and it's perfect for fall in the holidays. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. If you're looking for a nice burnt orange matte lipstick, definitely get your hands on this one. been a minute since I wore this shade and I forgot how beautiful it is, and it's so good. To give it a little bit of a dimension, I'm going to tap the Melted Matte lipstick in the shade Pumpkin Spice just in the middle. This is also a holiday release. I don't know if they're bringing this back. I hope they do. It was in a mini set last year and I love every shade from that collection. And I'm just going to tap this slightly in the middle. It is very similar to Gingerbread Man, but it has a little bit more of like a nude muted shade. It is still orange. It's just a little bit lighter. And then last but not least for the lips, I'm going to take my highlighting brush. I'm not going to add any new product to it, but I'm just going to dust the Cupid's bow, and I feel like this gives it a little bit less of a harsh look, and I just think it looks better when I'm doing a liquid lipstick. It just diffuses and adds a little bit of something. And that is it for this makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below what you are most excited about for this fall, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!